Kill the white man.
Man,
Kill the white man.
I lo-
Good morning, everybody.
I love
Welcome
that
back
quote.
to the
That quote
show.
always makes me laugh.
575, Mike. 575. This is
575.
unbelievable. 25 more shows will be at the big 600. I'm blowing through them.
Ooh,
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. This is Friday.
oh,
Friday,
love me
July
a
12th.
Friday. Love me some Fridays.
Yes, yes. Fridays are the best. Are the Fridays still good? Is Friday still as good for you as they were when you were a kid?
No, because now I got to work Saturdays.
Yeah.
But Saturday's my new Friday, so yes, so technically, yeah, it's still good because boom, man, the week's over, and you get time to relax.
Okay. A
So
little reset. You need a little reset,
you get a
especially
reset.
at your age. You need a
Oh,
little
I
reset.
oh I needed it yesterday. That's why we weren't on air. Whew.
Mm. A couple things before we get started. Did you all right, check this story out? Did you see this person tried to board a flight in China with not only snakes, it was 100 snakes, and it was in his pants.
That's a lot of snakes in your pants.
Yo, there is nothing in this world important enough to make me put 100 snakes in my pants. For one, 100 snakes in your pants. What the fuck
That's
is this? What is this?
I don't know that why I don't get it.
Imagine that being your reality. This is what you're doing today. You wake up, it's like, oh, yep, today's the day. I put all you guys in my pants. Let's go.
I,
We're going.
I gotta smuggle you into another country. Let's go. No one bite me.
I haven't seen this, this much stuff going on that I have my whole life with these people trying to get on the planes with things in Pittsburgh. I can remember at least a half dozen people trying to get on with guns over the past
Yeah.
year,
Uh-huh.
loaded guns.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? You're literally going to the airport and you say to yourself, let me load my gun up and try to hide it and get on the airplane.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Not thinking at all. That's like when people, like recently, it happened twice within the past couple months. People getting stopped in what over in Turkey that somehow they forgot they had ammunition in their luggage and got arrested and
Come
detained.
on.
They're like, come on now, you can't be that stupid.
Right.
I just don't get it. What's going on with
Is
people?
that, I mean, is that where we're at? You just do whatever you want. When you get caught, just claim stupid. Just say,
Yeah, just
oh,
claim stupid, or I didn't know. I don't know how it got there.
I didn't know shooting him in the face was going to kill him. My fault, you know.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But these snakes, 100 snakes on a plane in his pants. I mean, was he going to sit there throughout the flight with these snakes in his
Right.
pants?
You know what? I don't know if you remember, but back in the God, 10 years ago, maybe they had that Samuel L. Jackson movie, Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah,
Maybe he wanted to reenact Snakes on the Plane.
bro.
He lost a bet. He came in last in his fantasy football league, and this is what he had to do.
And not only, I mean, I don't know, I don't know. I just assume because he's boarding the plane in China, he may be a Chinaman. These Chinamen aren't that big. I mean, you got 100 snakes in your pants.
Yeah, they got to be like even
You
baby
had to
snakes.
know
That's
that
going
that
to take
flight.
up a lot of room. That's
You
going to
had to
take
know
up
that this flight was not going to go well. I mean, no,
no.
even if you get busted, you still have to sit there with 100 snakes. And where are you going
That's
from China? Anywhere from China is a flight. I mean, if you're leaving the country, I just it's 100 snakes in his
that's
pants.
it. I
And he's
like
probably all
why?
pissed off that he got busted. You know?
I bet the people who were expecting the snakes are even more pissed off.
Yeah.
You
If it
know,
wasn't for
they
these meddling kids, I would have made it with these
I would
snakes.
have had snakes.
100 snakes. That should be the movie, not snakes on a
Like
plane. Snakes in your pants.
snakes in your pants. We need to follow this story because I want to know, like you said, why
Yeah.
he was doing it.
I'd like to know a little bit more.
I want to see like pictures of them pulling out all the snakes from his pants. Were any of them venomous? Is what I want to know. Like, because that would take. You know what? If he was smuggling venomous snakes, you got to let him go at that point because that's
Mm,
just the balls on that guy.
yeah.
You know.
Maybe it was a kamikaze mission. Maybe he didn't expect to make it, and as long as the snakes made it, that's all that
You know
mattered.
what? You know, yeah, it's like,
It's always
oh,
that them Asians,
it,
that was a Japanese thing, but I mean, come on,
yeah. Well, maybe that was like, one last, you see it in those movies. We got one last job for you, then you can get
yeah,
out of the business.
right.
And maybe he was in something was trying to get out of and smuggled these snakes. You get it through, you're done, you're safe. You never have to deal with us again.
You
You
know
go
what
about your
journalism
life.
could do to go to the next level? All these wild stories, especially stuff you see from Florida. There's a lot of Florida stories that are just ridiculous.
Oh, they're great.
I think that maybe journalists ought to go that extra step and follow up on all these stories, find out what the hell these people were doing, and you know what? I bet you there's going to be people that talk to them. Some
Yeah.
people are going to say no, but if they would follow up and track these people down and like, go,
Yeah.
what were you doing with
I
the
I
100
want to
snakes in your
know.
pants, and what was the process? People want to know.
I want to know. I want to know what's going on. I just This might be the news story of the year for me. I'm not gonna
Uh,
lie. This is great. Snakes in my pants.
Snakes in my pants, starring
I've
Ice
got
Cube.
snakes in my pants. Snakes in my
Wasn't
pants.
Ice Cube in that? Snakes on a plane. I think it was Ice Cube.
No, no, I think it was just Samuel.
I think it was Ice Cube, dude.
Hold
Look
on.
it up.
I'm gonna look it up. I know he was in it. I think Taylor Kitsch was in it. That's about
Oh,
all I can
you
remember.
must have seen the movie. I've never seen it. I'm just going on memory. Good morning, Ralph. How are you doing today, sir?
Snakes
Just a
on a
moment while
plane.
Mike looks up. Just a moment until Mike looks up and sees that he's wrong.
No, it's Keenan Thompson.
Keenan Thompson?
Yeah,
I would have never guessed
from
Keenan
Key and
Thompson.
P. Yeah, from what? I
Yeah,
almost said
Keenan
Key
and
and
Cal.
yeah, Keenan and Cal. I almost said Key and
He
Peele.
was on Snakes in a Plane,
Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
and it
Rachel
wasn't.
Blanchard,
It wasn't Ice
Juliana
Cube.
Margaret. It was not Ice Cube.
It
No.
wasn't. Who'd you say?
Taylor Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch is in
You said
there.
Denzel Washington.
I did not say
Yes,
Denzel
you
Washington.
did.
I did not. I did not say
The
Denzel.
very first thing you said Denzel.
No,
You
I said Samuel L. Jackson, and then I said Taylor.
Samuel. Is
Yeah,
Samuel in it?
yeah,
Oh,
Samuel
all
L. Jackson, and then Keenan
right. I
Thompson's
don't
in
want to
it.
talk about this anymore.
Yeah, yeah, because you were wrong and I was right.
That's good to hear, Ralph. Good, 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 my man. I guess we'll get into this sports thing, Mike.
Snakes
Um,
in my pants. Snakes in my pants.
I guess the pink elephant in the room is this Paul Skenes story from yesterday.
Yeah.
Paul Skenes goes blowing through the Milwaukee Brewers lineup like it's nothing, striking out 11 guys, seven innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, one walk, 11 Ks. He gets yanked after seven. Um, we could rant, we could rave, we could go on, but I mean, just plain and simple, why didn't he get to finish the game? And a couple other things before you answer that question. They bring in Colin Holderman. You might say, okay, well, whatever the reason, and I'm sure there's plenty of reasons we're going to hear over the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
But you bring in Colin Holderman, and he gives up a hit to the very first battery faces. Then he gives up a hit to the very second battery faces. And I believe he walked a guy, he loaded the bases. But the good thing about Colin Holderman in that inning, he struck three people out. He was able to get out of that inning
Yeah.
unaffected. And Chapman comes in the ninth, does perfect, gives up no hits, no runs, no walks, throws a strikeout, and the Pirates get the 1-0 win to win the series over the first place Brewers. But Mike, I mean, when it comes down to you here, when it comes down to it with you, what do you think? What do you think was the over? What was the big decision to pull Paul at that point? Yeah, if you could listen, you could have left him in. He threw six pitches in the seventh inning. He threw six pitches,
Yeah.
got through that inning pretty fast. With that being said, in all seriousness, what was the purpose of pulling Paul Skenes? You could have put him back out there in the eighth inning, and if it started to get a little out of it, but there was no signs of it getting out of hand. There was no signs of him. I mean, usually when you see a hit, a couple guys get on base, maybe a walk. It wasn't to that point. Should the Pittsburgh Pirates have left Paul Skenes in there to attempt this no hitter? Is the first part of the question. And the second part of the question is, do you think this display yesterday by Paul Skenes is enough to have him starting for the National League next week in the All-Star game?
Let me answer the second question first. Yes, I think he should start that All Star game. He's doing stuff that people haven't done since Nolan Ryan. And then you have to go back even further than that. So yeah, he stuff that he's doing now is historical. He should get the honor of starting the All Star game. And answer the first part of this question. Apparently, he was tired. That's what Ben Shel or Derek Shelton said. He was tired. He was tired. It's about trusting your eyes, trusting him. When I went and talked to him after the seventh inning, he was tired. But Paul Skenes goes, I wanted to finish it, but throwing every 6 days, 5 days, whatever is now, I definitely understand the side of it. Now he was giving like an article says the politically correct answer, but Shelton just didn't want, he's come on.
With that
They
being
have
said,
him on a pitch count. They don't want him to go anything over 100. Never mind the fact in the College World Series, he was pitching at 110 pitches, 120,
the
123.
four
He
games
can
that he
do it.
pitched in the College World Series, 124, 123, 120, and 101
Yeah,
in a
he
shorter
can do
period
it.
of time because it was within the confines of a World Series
Yeah,
time period,
he can
opposed
do
to
it.
5 game, 5 days, 5 days.
Yeah, he can do it. I don't want to hear about, the Tommy John. Oh, you can blow out an arm because he throws so hard. It's, pitching angles too. As a new study's coming out, they're analyzing starters throwing motions. That's what does it. People like Chapman and some of the other heavy throwers out of the bullpen, they started that whole thing of pitchers changing of how they were starting pitchers were throwing the ball to get that fast. And that's when a lot of these injuries started happening. Paul Skenes has a different throwing motion than most starting pitchers, and that's going to protect his ligaments. So he can go out there and be that workhorse that does 120 innings. He can be that guy. Because he's not just a fastball guy. We saw that backdoor slider. We see that splinker that he will be able to protect his arm. And they should have left him in there. He was a 6 pitch inning. Yeah, a lot of those were groundouts, but my God, the guy had it rocking and rolling. You saw the look on his face when they
It was
pulled
a
him out.
strikeout and 2 groundouts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah, you saw the look on his face. We see that numerous times this year when they've pulled him, and you know what? It almost happened where the bullpen blew the game. How many times has that happened to him this year? This guy is counting. You can just kind of see it. Like he's counting down his days here in Pittsburgh. He can't wait. He can't
Yeah.
wait to be gone.
His locker, he has the little, like when people were in prison and they
Yeah.
mark up their little lines.
Yeah. How many
That's,
years left? That's what
yeah.
he has. He like 6 more years, and he's like, I'm out of here.
Well, let me ask you this now: the fact that they're going into the All Star break, the fact that he may pitch less than an inning in this
Like
All Star
20
game,
some pitches, maybe.
so it could. I understand the tired. I understand. I get that. I really do. But there's two parts of this. For one, he's a freak. He's not a kid. You don't have to handle him
Yeah.
like a kid. He's a man amongst boys. If the kid needs to pitch an extra inning to try to get a no hitter, by all means, let him do it. Two, after today, exactly 5 days, his next start is the day of the All-Star game. So nothing is off schedule. He goes in, throws less than an inning, probably like you said, 20 pitches, and then he has a significant amount of time of break
Yeah.
until his next start. Was it
Uh-huh.
really necessary to get his rest? You're in game time. Your adrenaline's pumping. You've gone through 7 innings. You struck out 11 people. This first place Milwaukee Brewers team looks like a little league team against you. Let the guy go back out there again. If he runs into problems in the 8th inning, then you can start to send
Yeah.
out Oscar Marine and have him talk to him. And if he feels like he's ready to come out, but like you said, Mike, a 124, 123, 120, and 101 were the amount of pitches that he threw. That is 470 pitches over a
Yeah.
short period of time.
Yeah.
Like I said, in the confines of a series. I just think this is a totally ridiculous thing that happened yesterday. And going off of what Ralph says on the board, Derek Shelton just does not know how to manage pitchers. And Mike, I don't know how many times you and I had said this over and over and over and over and over. He does not know how to manage pitchers. He'll leave the guy in there 2 innings too long if the guy's letting up 10 runs. But if a guy's looking great, he yanks him out.
Yeah.
It's retarded. It is
is.
retarded what's going on with this team. And the thing is, we know better. Why we get worked up, why we get excitable, why
I know.
we
I
make
know.
excuses, I don't know why. We're here in Pittsburgh, we're talking about sports. I guess what you got to do. But fuck, at the end of the day, Shelton blows.
He like how many times have I said it? I feel like beating that drum day in and day out, but he has no feel for the game of baseball. It's comical. You let your guy go out there, and if he starts getting hit, you yank him. You
Mike,
know,
what does he do on offense when a guy has a great offensive day? He
he
sits
sits
him the
him,
next day.
sits him the next day,
You don't hit
and
your
like
you wait for a guy to get red hot in the major leagues. You know what I mean? You just wait for your
yeah,
guys to get red hot. What's he do when a guy gets red hot? He sits
he
him.
sits him down. Yeah,
And then when
outside of
a guy gets on a low streak, he puts him in every day.
they're in there every day.
It's like
Yeah,
they went out and hired the most retarded. Listen, I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure his mother loves him or whatever the hell his story is. But this Shelton, I mean,
it's just a
if
terrible,
this sport was
terrible.
relevant in Pittsburgh, Pittsburghers would be chasing him out of town right now. The fact that the Steelers are back in camp in less than 2 weeks, I think that plays a part. Everyone's
Mhm.
like, all right, football's on the doorstep here. We got high school coming up. We got college. We got the Steelers. So I don't think people are as mad. Or, I think people are happy. They're happy right now because we have a Paul Skenes. Paul Skenes is making some news for their team. He's doing some great things. But at the end of the day, if this was a significant part of Pittsburgh, as the Yankees are in New York or the Dodgers are in LA, Pittsburghers would have been would have had this guy's head on a platter first flight out of Pittsburgh.
Oh, no doubt. He would have been gone a long time ago. He should have been gone a long time ago. And it feels like when it comes to Paul Skeens, they're doing so much with analytics with this guy. All the, analytics saying this young pitcher, he can only do this much. So that's what we have to follow. Like everyone's not cookie cutter. Analytics are a great tool, but they're a tool. They're one, they're that one tool in your arsenal. You don't want to just rely on it, and you have to go with the feel of the game. He was out there
He,
rocking and
he has
rolling.
no feel.
Even if he was tired, how many pitchers have you seen
He's
that are
like a
pitching damn good games
paraplegic, or he
that
has
are
no
tired?
feel.
Yeah, that are tired out there that can still go through and finish that game. It's ridiculous.
One of my favorite things that he does, and probably my only favorite thing that he does, is when he stomps out there and defends his players on a bad call. I always love that about baseball. And you
Yeah.
know what? If your coach isn't doing that for you, then look for a new coach. He does that. Now, that being said, that's literally the only thing that Derek Shelton does that excites me. As far as is anything that matters, coaching your pitchers, coaching your hitters. For one, you've been the worst, one of the worst hitting teams in the league all year. What are you doing as a team? What are you doing as a coach to make this situation better? Because it sure doesn't seem like it's getting any better. Now you can say to yourself, does it come down to we just don't pay out enough money? We're not paying good hitters to come here and play baseball. So is it A, we just don't have good players and they're not going to play as well because they're not as good as the good players? Or B, is this coaching staff that useless that nothing is getting done? Or is it a little bit of both?
One, Andy Haynes, the hitting coach, is one of the worst hitting coaches in all of
I might as
Major
well
League
teach these guys how
Baseball.
to hit.
Yeah, because you will see it like guys will go down to the minors, then they'll work the minor league hitting coach and do a whole hell of a lot better than you saw it last year with Brian Hayes. When he was out injured, he went and worked, with the former hitting coach of the Buccos. And he came back and had a damn good second half. So yeah, the hitting coach is the problem. Yeah, some of the players, they shouldn't be everyday players. And a lot of guys aren't getting better. You're not seeing Jack Sawinski getting better. And so part of it's him, part of it's the hitting coach, but they need to do something. Definitely start with the hitting coach and then see maybe if it is just the hitting coach or is the players or is it a combination of both? You have to do something, but they won't because they don't want to pay two people at the same time.
And that's the story that came out yesterday. I don't want to get into it. I'll just give you the headline. Two state house representatives, two state house members are they argue that the Bucks don't spend enough money to be competitive. I you know it's one thing to stink. It's one thing that everyone knows that you stink. But people that run your state, these people are they should be what's the word I'm looking for? They should be neutral. They
Yeah.
shouldn't, they shouldn't have opinion. But these people are literally coming out and saying, you know what, this is why this team stinks. They don't spend any money. Somebody's sitting in the nutting and Sherrington office has to feel embarrassed to some degree. And if they don't, and they're happy with the way things are, and they still continue to scrape the money in, they got to go. And whatever it takes, I don't know, but let's trade teams like they trade players or something. Like we got to do something. Let's trade for somebody. But come on,
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
it
And
is.
as Ralph says on the board, what would the Pirates be without Paul Skenes this year? This would
Uh,
be the normal laughing stock that they
Oh
are
yeah,
every freaking year. And the only reason they're not a laughing stock is because of Paul Skenes. There's no two ways about it.
yeah. They guaranteed have at least six more losses. They would not have the attendance that they have. They would not be getting the attention that they are receiving. But yeah, they've been a whole hell of a lot worse shape than they are. But you know what? On one hand, you have to say well done on picking the correct player because I was on the Dylan Cruz bandwagon. But that's like in the past couple of years, that's the only correct decision they have made. And they even almost bungled that by taking forever until got up into the major league. So
Pittsburgh
even when they do
Pirates
something right, they still kind of fuck it up.
Pirates on Tuesday night, Mike, they managed to score 12 runs. They win the game 12-2 over the first place Brewers. I knew the second day wasn't going to be good. I even called her on the show. I said, after they win that first game by big, they usually
Oh
lose
yeah.
the second game. And they did. They came out and lost 9-0, 9-0 on Wednesday. Uh, I don't know how you go from scoring 12 runs one night to scoring one run over the next 2 days, yet they managed to pull that off. Um, Mike, one run over the next 2 days.
Hey, they are consistently inconsistent. If they were not inconsistent, there would be nothing consistent about this team. That's really all there is to say about it, dude. They're this so inconsistent. That's the only explanation for it. And they're just not they have good players. They just don't have enough. And like
Let's
the
go.
guy that they were going up against was not they weren't playing a
That's what I'm
good pitcher.
saying.
And
It's a 1-0 game. You would have thought that it was two great
yeah,
pitchers facing off. No,
yeah,
it was one great pitcher,
yeah,
and then it was a guy who was a nobody.
yeah,
And you would have thought that their pitcher was just as good as Paul Skeens by the
yeah.
results.
Yeah, he
We
gave
only
up
got
what
6 hits in this game. I mean, it
six
wasn't.
hits off the
Yeah,
guy and two walks, and you could only produce one goddamn run.
yeah.
Come on now.
Let me hop back to Wednesday. Let's kind of just blow through this. The Pirates on Wednesday night, they had 9-0 loss. Mike, the Brewers out hit us 14-4 in this game. 14-4. That was a Martin Perez start. He goes 4.2 innings, gives up 9 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Honeywell comes in for him. Figure maybe Honeywell could save the day. Honeywell goes 2 1/3 inning, gives up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. And then finally, Ryder Ryan comes in for 1 inning, gives up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. I mean, that's a 9-0 loss. That's what this sheet looks like when you lose 9-0. On the offensive side of the ball, Brian Reynolds goes 1 for 4, Tellez 1 for 3, Palacio 1 for 3, Triolo 1 for 3, and that resulted in the 0 runs because that was the only 4 hits of the game. Nothing beyond that was done except for a Sawinski walk. Um, but Mike, I got to tell you, I am so glad that the Steelers start. They go to camp in less than 2 weeks because if we had to cover this team in its entirety all the way through the season, I just don't know if I could do it.
Me either. I would oh I'd run through a plain glass window. I couldn't or pane glass window. Oh, this Bucker team is killing me.
So
It,
then,
it's
yeah.
torture. It's torture, dude, is what it is.
So then for Thursday, Mike, it was the game yesterday. Of course, the Pirates win 1-0. You know the story. You saw the game. The hitters, it's again, we only had 6 hits. Milwaukee has the 2 off of Holderman in the 8th inning. Grandal goes 1 for 4 with the RBI. Kutch goes 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Cruz goes 1 for 4. Tellez 1 for 3. Nicky G 1 for 4. Hayes 1 for 4. Sawinski scored the only run. Joe had a walk. Long story short, the Pirates win this game 1-0. And this is what their division looks like of right now, Mike. Milwaukee's at top. St. Louis is second place, 5 games out. Pirates third place, 8.5 games out, 2.5 out of the wild card. So they did improve there. They were 4 games out of that wild card. I really thought they were losing a grip of that.
Yeah.
fourth place and fifth place. The Cubs and the Reds both 9 games out. I guess you would call that tied in fourth. And this is what their schedules look like going into the weekend. Milwaukee is hosting the Washington Nationals. St. Louis is heading to Chicago to play the Sox. Of course, we are going to Chicago to play. I'm sorry, there. St. Louis is playing the Cubs. We're playing the Sox. We're going to be in Chicago also. And finally, Mike, the Cincinnati Reds, they would be playing the Miami Marlins. Maybe we'll get a little help this weekend. Maybe we won't. But one thing that I do know is we are going to play the Chicago White Sox tonight. Game 1 of 3. This game starts at 8:10. We have not yet announced our starting pitcher. The White Sox will be pitching Garrett Crochet, maybe, if it's pronounced the way that it's written. He is a left-handed pitcher. He comes in with a 6-6 record, a 3.08 ERA, and 146 strikeouts. And this is what really blows me out of the water. These guys stink. He's average at best with his numbers, but he has almost 150 Ks. What am I missing on this Crochet guy?
I don't know, man. It sounds like the team around him is as bad. Not kind of like they have a Pirates offense around him.
You want me to tell you?
He has given up 10 home runs, though.
Let me. He's given up 10 home runs.
Yeah, he's given up 10 home runs.
Let me add something in here before you continue, Mike. As I mentioned the other day, we were down to like minus 13 in the point differential in the season, and then it went back up to like 20 something after that game, that 9-0 loss. Chicago White Sox, who do have the worst record in the league. I want to put it out there. The White Sox do have the worst record in the major league, but get this. They're 27-68. Get this. Their point differential, their run differential, minus. Get ready for this, Mike. You sitting?
I'm sitting.
165.
Woo!
Mike, when we were minus 33,
wow.
I thought this is the worst ever. Mike, they're minus 165. So with that being said, is it safe? Is it safe for us to speculate and say, you know what? If we have a good series against this White Sox team, we could go into the All-Star break perhaps on a 4-game winning streak. Against the Brewers, you would say, no, you can't do that because this team is good. They're in first place. But guess what we did? We beat the Brewers 2 out of 3 in some weird way. But can we say with a team that comes into this series 27-68 with a negative 165 run differential, would we sound crazy by saying maybe this Pirate team could go 4 wins in a row into the All-Star break, get some rest, come back with everybody rested, come back with your pitchers ready to go, and maybe get ready to make another run and hit the end of the season or the end of the month, get the trade deadline, add a player here, do something there, and see where we could go. Mike, is it that crazy? Or is the Pirates that inconsistent that we should even get it out of our minds that that's even a possibility?
We should get it out of our minds. Like this team hasn't shown that they can put together a nice little win streak to help us,
They haven't had a streak all season, Mike.
I know.
They need one of them 6-7 game winning streaks is what they need.
Yeah.
Because number wise, it puts them in a way better place.
Yep.
2, it gives you that confidence. And for 3, you know what you can finally say, I put together a streak. We're a decent team.
Yeah. And kind of force management's hand, but that's always like the key of this team. Like the players have to force management's hand to make a move, but then the front office and the owner be like, "Well, the guys are playing good, so we're just going to go with what we got." They're
playing good that day. The management makes a decision
they don't play
for the whole
well.
Year.
It's like, well, why would we add? They're not playing that well, so we're just gonna wait till next year, man. Next year, man. We got people coming up next year, so
we could all be dead next year.
Yeah.
What a dumb thing.
What
a dumb way to think.
They need to maximize this window with Paul Skenes. And they're not going to do it. This year, you can start adding pieces for next year that are legit major league players. Start building the foundation now by trading away some of these prospects that you don't know are going to hit. Get them for guys who have established themselves in the major league that have some years of contract control left. Build the team now to win. Legit start threatening to win next year and the year after and the year after that. Have a nice 3-year window, kind of like we did before, and maximize this window where you have Keller, Skenes, Jones, and do what you can, man, because you have to do it now. Because if you don't do it now, you're just going to do typical Pirate things, kick the can down the road, and then, oh my God, we got to trade Paul Skenes for a bunch of prospects.
Yep. So they
Not
could.
to be a downer.
So they got Chicago tonight. Then on Saturday they play them again at 2:10. They face a guy named Chris Flexen who has a 2-7 record, and then Sunday they play again also on 2:10 on Sunday. Their pitcher has not been determined. However, Mitch Keller will be pitching Sunday. Luis Ortiz on Saturday. So that's the way that it looks, Mike. A couple things about. Let me touch on this real quick. This
Yeah.
Taylor Ward, a lot of scoop going around, rumors early in the week about this. Taylor Ward is a trade interest of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's an outfielder for the Angels. And I think the big mistake with somebody like Taylor Ward is this. The Pirates, they have a very hard time scoring runs because they're not a patient team. They're not a small ball team. And they're certainly not a team that's going to hit a lot of home runs every day. But what this team does is they try to hit a lot of home runs every day. You get a guy on base, instead of working him around the bags, they figure, well, let's go up because if we could get a two-run homer, we could be back in this game. That's the problem with this team. You have a bunch of guys that want to be the hero that aren't guys that could hit the ball out every time, every game. So Taylor, I'm sorry, Turner Ward used to be a Pirate. Taylor Ward of the LA Angels has a 238 average, 14 home runs, and 44 RBIs, which sounds like somebody that we already have a lot of. Low average, decent amount of homers, decent amount of RBIs. He's the same kind of player. That's what you're going to get. If you get a guy that hits for average, instead of getting a guy that wants to hit a home run to get your team back in the game every time your team's out of the game. And for the Pirates, that's every game. You're going to run into the same problem that you have right now. You're not going to be consistent because you're going to depend on the long ball in certain situations to try to win games. Go for a guy that hits for average. Go for a guy who likes to get on base. Go for a guy that, as I said, the higher the average, the better your chances are. Because again, 14 home runs, it's a nice amount of pops, but at the end of the day, if you're sitting around, he has 4 bats a game, how many ever bats a week, how many ever a month, and you're going to wait for another guy to hit a home run in the late innings to try to get your team over the hump. You're really missing something here. You're missing a guy that
Yeah.
gets on the base. That's what we're lacking.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
expect Jack? Well, what do you expect Jack Sawinski to do when he gets up late in the game? You want him to hit a home run. What do you expect Rowdy Tellez to do when he gets up late? You want him to hit a home run. We have enough of these guys. It just don't work, especially when you pay the money that we pay. If you were paying big name home run hitters, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
But you're paying the guys that you're paying on the Pittsburgh Pirates, and you're expecting this team to hit late home runs to win all these games. Mike, in my opinion, Taylor Ward is not the answer. You go after somebody that hits for average because you need that in your lineup. Go for somebody that's hitting over 270 that you could rely on him more than once or twice a week for big things to happen. And the other thing, somebody asked me earlier in the week, what would you go after? I would go after middle relief, and I would go after a fielder, whether it be an outfielder or a right-handed first baseman, to double with Tellez. Move Joe back to his utility. He could play a little bit of everything. Yep. But you got to get a guy somewhere in your lineup that hits for average. Right now, we're lucky. We should be on our hands and knees because Brian Reynolds has been that guy over the past month, right?
Yeah.
He's the only one.
He's the only one.
There's nobody else hitting for average on his team, and you can see where the production's coming from. It comes every time Brian Reynolds is at the plate. Not because he wants to hit a home run. He hits a home run because he's a good average hitter. You can't. They're backwards. Mike, this team is so backwards. It's unreal.
Yeah, like the only way I would take Taylor Ward if he's going to replace Sawinski, and Sawinski's going to either be used in a trade for another player, because if you would I would take that, like swap Ward for Sawinski in the lineup, and Sawinski's gone, because I don't even trust him to pinch hit because his average is so bad. Yeah, he'll hit you the occasional home run, but he doesn't walk, doesn't get on base.
Yeah, the occasional home run ain't winning many baseball games.
And like Ward has 14 home runs now. I'd just swap him for Sawinski. But like you said, long term, I want guys who can get on base, move that ball, play station to station baseball.
What's the difference between every team that's good and every team that isn't? The good teams get guys on base.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, you could play like this, where things don't really make sense or add up or logical. You could have a team and expect every guy to hit a home run to win you games. But come on, it's not real. It's not realistic.
Yeah.
Why are the Pirates this dumb?
It's because they're the Pirates, and like Rowdy Tellez and O'Neal Cruz have better batting averages than Taylor Ward, and we bang our head against the wall about their at bats to add this guy to it. Yeah, he's a huge upgrade over someone like Jack Zawinski, but like you just said, man, he fits that mold of everyone else that we have. We need someone outside it. You can't just have the exact same hitters through the lineup because you're gonna have what you had yesterday. You're gonna almost waste your an outstanding pitching performance because no one can get on base, no one can score a run.
If our
And
games
if you
went
get guys
according to the
on,
way, if our games went away the way that the according to the way the pitchers pitched,
oh
Mike,
my god,
we'd be damn near in first place, if not in first place.
yeah, yeah,
But the meltdown after the starting pitcher leaves the game,
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
biblical proportion.
and like you said, a more better relief pitchers to help that, and better batting average. So you get guys. So when these guys do get on base, you can have the guy who can hit for average, drive those runs in.
Can I give you another example, Mike?
This is just simple baseball.
Mike Way
Yeah.
Taylor, shitty average last year, 21 home
Oh,
runs.
yeah.
Pirates grab him because he's cheap, because
And
everyone
he
else knows
can't.
he
He hasn't done
sinks.
anything.
He comes, he's done nothing. Low average, 21 home runs. What does this sound like? Every other player we have. What does this sound like? Every player we're looking at in a trade deadline. What does this look like? It looks like Taylor Ward.
Yeah.
This is the same kind of player that Taylor Ward is, Mike.
Yeah. It's like they have their analytic spreadsheet, and that's what they're going by. Instead
Mike
of
Wade Taylor's been the worst player on the team, but he hit 21 home runs last season. He had the best season of his career. This is all the Pirates look at. If you knew anything about Mike Wade Taylor, you would have ran
yeah.
from him to opposed to picking him up.
Yeah,
This
like
is what this is what they're doing.
yeah, he would have been another guy to have that's coming in off the bench, not someone that you're going to well, even coming off the bench, he's not that good. So never mind.
He does two things well. He has speed in center field, which you
Yeah.
need as a center
Yeah.
fielder.
Mm-hmm.
And if they put him on base as like a pinch runner, or he goes in the late innings at second base, he's fast on the pads.
Breaking
I wouldn't say he's the smartest guy. Go ahead.
breaking news as of 12 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Paul Skenes will be the starting pitcher.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what? That happened before I even had a chance to talk a little bit more about this, because I do have some things here, Mike. Real quick, Paul Skenes, the starter of the All-Star team for the National League. I think that's fantastic. Congratulations, sir.
Yes.
The couple things that I was going to say about this, Mike, was Glass now is out. He's not pitching because of an injury. And Chris Sale for the Braves, he pitches Sunday, so he wouldn't be able to start on Tuesday. So I was going to say I was going to bet that, and I'm not a betting man, but I was going to say that Skenes does pitch. He does start Tuesday. That's going to be my guess because of those two particular things there between Glass now and Sale. But there you go, everybody. Mike with the breaking news here on the Two Dumb Yinzers as of 13 minutes ago. Paul Skenes is named the starter of the National League in the All-Star game this coming Tuesday. That is awesome. And you know what? Nobody deserves it better. Nobody deserves it more,
Yep.
Mike.
Yeah, he deserves it, man. Well done to him. First player to go, 1-1 in the following season, make the All-Star game,
Right,
now being the starting pitcher of it. The legend of Paul Skenes grows.
Let's enjoy this freak while he's here, I guess, right?
Yes.
Who knows how long this is going to be?
you know,
He could be out here at the trade deadline. Don't
probably, yeah. Hey, he's under contract control. I think they have him for like 5 to 6 years. So
right.
maximize that window because he's gone.
Even
after
John
that.
Smoltz. You remember Smoltzy?
I remember Smoltz.
He come out and said Paul Skenes is the best I've ever seen.
That
Hall
says
of
a lot.
Famer,
John Smoltz. Yeah. A
And
lot of these pitchers, man, a lot of former players are just saying how great he is.
This is John Smoltz, who pitched in between Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine, and he faced the great Yankees of the. I mean, come on. So, one thing about I do want to say, Mike, the Pirates. Get this. This is an interesting number. The Pirates. Every time Rowdy Tellez hit a home run, they never lost. The Pirates are 7-0 in games that Rowdy Tellez has hit a home run.
Just send him up there and let him grip it and rip it.
Yeah. 7-0. every time Rowdy Tellez hits a home run. So there you go.
I
Do
love
what you
it.
want with that.
Oh, Rowdy Tellez.
Do
Still not
what
a
you
big
want.
fan of Rowdy Tellez, but you know what? It's a nice stat for Rowdy. He deserves that, I guess.
He's playing as well as Rowdy can play. He's Rowdy
Yeah.
Tellez. We're
Yeah.
not with Alex Pujols saying, "Wow, why is this guy playing like Rowdy Tellez?" This guy is Rowdy Tellez.
Yeah.
You know, he has
Rowdy
that
Till
disadvantage
Rowdy Tellez doing Rowdy Tellez things out
doing
there.
Rowdy Tellez things. Mike, let me go over some Pirates things here. And we do have to move along because there's a bunch of things going on this weekend.
Dude, 40 minutes worth of bucko talk.
But you know what? When you got Paul Skenes, it kind
I
of
know.
justifies
It's
itself.
40 minutes of Paul Skeens talk.
Speaking of which, Paul Skeens in the last 12 months, Mike, he was in the last 12 months. What have you done with your life? Let me ask you that. Now, let me say this. In the last 12 months, Paul Skeens was the College World Series champion. He was the College World Series most outstanding player. He was the Dick Hauser Trophy Award winner. He was the #1 overall pick in the majors, and he is a starting pitcher in the All-Star game in his first season. Mike, what a 12-month period of time. And when you go to the end of the year, when it's December, and you're starting to say, let's look at this year back, who was the biggest sports story? Was it Paul Skeens or was it Caitlin Clark? You got to say now, on one hand, Caitlin
Ooh.
Clark, she has broken. She's done things that nobody's ever done.
Yeah.
She scored more points than anybody ever
Yep.
in college. But look what Paul Skeens is doing
Yeah.
from college into pros. How do you
Uh,
make that decision, Mike? How do you
well,
make this decision?
I'm going to go with,
Neither team are
because
probably going to win the championship. I mean, I think we
no,
could be
God,
honest
no,
there.
no. They're the best player on a bad team, but what Paul Skeens is doing, no one has seen done. It
No.
is truly, truly generational to where people are talking about how after what 10, 11 starts, he might go down as the best pitcher of all time. If the career goes that way, and people are saying, Caitlin Clark could be a really good player down the line, not a the top at the sport. So Paul Skeens right there, and Paul Skeens been dominant from day one, whereas Caitlin Clark had her struggle. So edge to Paul Skeens, but what Caitlin Clark is also doing though is she's drawing a huge amount of viewers to not just the team but a league. Paul Skeens isn't doing that yet, but
But
my
I mean,
God,
he's drawn,
he's drawing huge numbers in Pittsburgh.
you
But
go to
Caitlin Clark,
St. Louis in a sold out
yeah,
crowd and they applaud him,
oh yeah, yeah. But baseball's Major League Baseball is an established sport. It's been around for over 100 some odd years, whereas the WNBA struggled for like 20 years, and now she comes along and they're seeing their biggest growth ever.
Skiing
Is
6-0 since he started.
Yeah,
11 starts,
Whew.
6-0,
Should be at least eight now.
1.90 ERA, 1.90 ERA. That's in 66 and a third innings pitched and 89 strikeouts. That is since May 11. Got to remember the team started in late March this year. Pirates started in late March. They played the 4 games, few games at the end of March, all of April, and the first 10 days of May. And then Skeens comes along and just outperforms
Whew.
everybody
Yeah,
in the shorter period of time. Mikey has 7+ Ks in 8 consecutive starts. That's something that's for the Pirates never been done. I think it's only been done like 3 or 4 times in the history of ever. Um, but I think the most important thing about this whole story, Mike, next week, if you have a mustache and you are doing it to represent Paul Skeens, fans with a mustache can go to Permanis and get a free Permanis sandwich next week. I'm not sure on the day, it wasn't specific, but if you keep your eye on things, Permanis is giving free sandwiches away to fans with mustache in honor of Skeens' all-star selection is what it is. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you get to Permanis next week to
maybe
get your free sandwich.
maybe we should shave our beards to go get some free Permanis.
Maybe.
Nah, I don't want. I don't want to have to grow this back. I don't want to deal with the itchy.
Maybe if Derpy can grow a mustache, he could do it.
Yeah, we can send him.
Uh, let me just double check, make sure I'm done with baseball here. I don't want to leave
Oh,
anything behind. One thing I do want to say next week's draft for the Major League Baseball that JJ Wetterholt from Mars, he played
Wetterholt.
for West Virginia. he is projected to be a first round pick. So keep your eye
That's
on
awesome.
Mr. Wetterholt from Mars. It'd be nice to see him get in. And we pick 9, so you never know. He might be a pirate.
Could be.
I'm sure he's sure hoping that
Could
he's
be.
not. But all right, Mike, let's talk about the Steelers here for a couple minutes. Then we have a bunch of things we got to go over. Less than 2 weeks till camp. Mike, just this is really kind of off topic. The big softball game that the Steelers do participate in every year down at Washington Wild Thing Stadium. It is this weekend. I do want to give people the notable names on these rosters because if you're getting down to Washington to watch this game, it's over the weekend, I think Saturday. Here are who's going to be participating. Mike, on team defense, Cam Hayward, Darius Rush, Britt Baker, Patrick Queen, Brett Kiesel, Benton, Alu, Cam Sutton, Ike Taylor, Casey Hampton, Jack Yavanko. On team offense, Connor Hayward, Roman Wilson, Doran Dickerson, Pat Fryermuth, Trey Essex, Gilbert Brown, Dion Lewis, and Gavin Bartholomew, of course, from Pitt. Mike, those are some pretty good. It's good every year. Don't get me wrong. They always
Yeah.
have turnouts. Tomorrow at Washington Wild Thing Stadium, get down and see the softball game played between all these Steelers in Pittsburgh. Notables alike. What do you think about you? I know last year we went on a little bit about it because of some of the people that were involved. This is a pretty good lineup, Mike, for
It's a
both
really
teams.
good lineup. Take out Cam Hayward and Britt Baker, and my God, I would go. I would go. I just can't. I just can't. There's just something about those two that just rub me the wrong way.
Okay.
But everyone else, my God, I would love to go see them. You're just like, hey, what up? And that'll be about it, and then leave. But yeah, everyone but Cam and Britt Baker.
Okay. So go check that out. That's
Yeah.
tomorrow down in Washington County at the
Both
Wild
of those
Things.
two people as well probably Cam Hayward's a good person, all that charity work he does. But Britt Baker seems like a nice person too, but they just don't do it for me.
And during the day, she rips your teeth out. During the night, she knocks your teeth out. She sounds like a great gal. Good morning, good afternoon, Brian. He says, I hear Hampton is. I heard that too. I heard Casey Hampton got real thin.
He did. He slimmed down. He got that probably on that. I'm just gonna say it. Ozempic, baby.
Yeah.
Ozempic.
So there you
Or
go.
or he probably did it the old fashioned way and worked out and ate right.
And the only other notable thing I have is AB. AB yesterday, Mike.
Oh
If you're
God.
interested in what he's been posting lately on X, of course, some of the more notable things he was talking about Caitlin Clark's bush. He was talking about this. He called Donald Trump the nigga of the day. The most recent one, guys, if you want to go check out AB on X, of course, formerly known as Twitter, he yesterday posted a picture of a young Asian kid playing a guitar, and he'd headed it with
Oh,
the statement "Chink of the day."
AB.
Chink of the
AB
day.
is doing everything he can
Uh,
to unite the races against him.
yeah, chink of
Maybe
the
maybe
day.
this is his way of solving racism. He will be the most racist person alive, so everyone hates him, unifies their hatred on him. Why would that? But because that kid, my God, we were talking about this
He
off
looked like
air.
a
He's just out there
talented
just
young man,
chilling.
didn't he?
Yeah, just
Playing his guitar.
having fun, and then just getting out here catching strays from AB, Captain CTE, going after the poor kid. I mean, like, come on,
Now,
bro.
yeah, and I mean now it's getting
Like,
to
I
that point.
like because we were talking off air, like the layers of why is funny and not funny
Yeah,
make it so funny. It's like there's so much going on, like you can't help but laugh when he's post stuff like this.
yeah. I'm staying tuned. I got to admit,
Oh,
he's
like
pulling me in.
it just uh
Pittsburgh
it's off the
Penguins.
chains.
The Penguins changed their beverage of
Yes.
choice when you go to the PPG arena to watch them play hockey. From now on, you are going to be getting Coca-Cola, which I do like. I do favor Coca-Cola when I drink pop. The Pittsburgh Penguins did change and are changing for the coming up season
You
to
know,
Coca-Cola.
RC Cola for life, but then they break my heart.
See, I thought that I loved RC Cola, and then I bought it not too long ago, and it's not as good as I remember. It's kind of flat, and I
Yeah.
remember it being good.
Yeah, like I was at a Penguin game or at the new arena once, well, a couple times, but I did grab an RC Cola because it was there and I liked it. It was good. It was from the fountain, so it was good and
Yeah.
crisp. But I was hoping they would, they announced a new one and they want Dr. Pepper since Dr. Pepper now took over Pepsi for number two, and
You
maybe
can't
the
have
Penguins
Dr.
get the
Pepper as your main code. You have to have a cola.
no. That should have been the main one. Just Dr. Pepper, nothing else.
No,
What do you
that's
want?
garbage.
I want
I
a
mean,
soft
Dr.
drink.
Pepper's not garbage. I mean, you have to have a cola. What's your cola going to be?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper.
That's not cola. It's a flavor. You
No, Dr. Pepper's a cola.
No, it's not a cola.
Yeah, a can of Dr. Pepper. What am I drinking? It's soda and
It's
water
well, no, I'm
and a
talking about
flavor.
cola flavored, dude. Like Coke, like Pepsi. The cola, it needs a cola. You have to have a cola.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper.
That's a flavor. It's a cherry flavor. It's a
Yeah, but it's its own brand. It's Dr.
okay.
Pepper.
Listen, I can't do this with you.
I know. Why do you think I kept
I have
tripling
things I got to
down?
do this week. Fuck. Good. Hey, Ron, how you doing, man? Nice to see you, dude.
Why do you think I was tripling down on the Dr. Pepper? I saw your head go like this. That's when I
So
know you're annoyed with me.
they're going to Coca-Cola. They're getting rid of your garbage RC. They didn't make Dr.
They,
Pepper the main drink.
they should have went with A&W root beer.
So whatever Mike says is we're gonna exit
Uh,
out.
No,
We're gonna edit it out of this
no,
show.
it's A&W root beer. Is that a cola or is that
No,
just a flavor?
no, it's root beer. Cola flavor is the main pop. Coke, RC, Pepsi. That's why they have flavors on top of that, like lemon lime, Pepsi. But it's Coke is that's the cola.
We're gonna have a spin-off show about the different types of
About
cola.
pop,
Yeah.
which I do have some big news coming up in the next couple of weeks about something that doesn't have anything to do with pop, but it does have something to do with what else you just said. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Mike, the Riverhounds are back in action tomorrow night. They are hosting the Oakland Roots soccer team. That's at 7 p.m. Get down to Highmark Stadium. Check out the Riverhounds trying to get a win. It's been a while. I can't even keep up with what they're doing right at the moment, but they are due for a win. Also, Mike, the big game this weekend, in my opinion, is the Pittsburgh Passion versus the Boston Renegades tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Pine Richland High School. Get up there, check these gals out, support them, because if the Passion, the WFA full contact football team from right here in Pittsburgh, if they win against the Boston Renegades, who are usually the favorite, Pittsburgh is the favorite this time around. They win this game, Mike. They go to Tom Benson Stadium in Canton, Ohio in 2 weeks to play in the championship game against whatever West team makes it. And I mean, it's been a few years. The Passion were the team. Now they again are the team to beat. All they got to do is get by this Boston Renegades team. Get up there. I do know that it's free for students. It's free for kids under what was it, 12, 8,
Yeah, I
something
think
like this.
it was somewhere in that range.
Also, if you're military, it's free to get in as well. Veterans, everybody, get up there, support the gals. This is a big game. This team is a confident of a bunch that I've seen in a long time. They're back at it tomorrow at 6 o'clock. In both of these games, the Riverhounds and the Passion, if you do miss them, they will more than likely be on Pittsburgh Sports over the weekend at some point. They have been doing that a lot lately. In the WNBA, Mike, the Indiana Fever, and Caitlin Clark, they do host the Phoenix Mercury today at 7:30 p.m. The Fever coming with a 9-14 record. The Mercury coming with a 12-10 record. They're going to be going at it. Watch Caitlin Clark and the Fever tonight at home hosting the Mercury, 7:30 p.m. One other note that I did make that I didn't go into the numbers or anything, but the New York Liberty team that we beat last week, that Indiana beat last week. I kind of adopt them as my team,
You did.
but we went in. I think they were 14-3. Indiana ended up beating that Liberty team by way of a lot done by Caitlin Clark. I think that was the game she had the triple double. But Mike, the Chicago Sky yesterday, they lose. They lose to the New York Liberty with all the star power they have in a Chicago Sky team. They managed to fail and lose by about 12 or so points to the Liberty. So again, WNBA tonight, Indiana Fever against the Phoenix Mercury, 7:30. Check that out. I know I sure will be. I'll be going back and forth between the Pirates White Sox game and the Indiana Fever Mercury game. Mike, you ready to do some trivia?
I'm ready to do some trivia.
This is a no-hitter trivia because, of
Ooh.
course, Paul Skenes was pretty close. Pretty close. Who knows what would have happened? You can't guarantee that it would have happened, but we know that he got through 7 innings last yesterday unscathed before he gets yanked. So today is going to be a no hitter question.
All right.
Guys on the board, play along. People at home, here we go. Question of the day: how many no hitters have the Pittsburgh Pirates thrown in their franchise history? Now, this is going to go back
Oh,
into when they were the Alleghenies as well. Same franchise. So it's back in the 1880s. I think 1887 was the Pirates, 1882, 83 was the Alleghenies, give or take. So since then, how many no hitters have the Pirates thrown in their franchise? Think hard on this, Mike. Um, Very interesting. I found it interesting when I looked it up. Go ahead and think that over. We are live. We're live 5 days a week, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. every single day, Eastern Standard Time, right here. The brand new live show that we do every day. We take it over to Spotify and we upload it in podcast form. So if you missed a show or you just rather listen to the show in podcast form, you could always go over to Spotify and check it out. All right. The question of the day: how many no hitters have the Pirates thrown in their franchise's histories? Again, this goes back to the 1880s. Ron on the board says three. Mike, how many no hitters would you say that the Pirates thrown in their franchise history? Feel free to talk it out if you need to, because we
yeah, because
know
we have the combined no hitter with Francisco Cordova and
in Rincon
Rincon.
back in '97.
Yeah, we had Doc Ellis tripping balls.
Mm-hmm. Some of the
Um,
more notable no hitters, I'd have to say.
yeah. I think Doc Ellis's no hitter might be the best one in baseball history because he was hitting
If I take
batters.
cough medicine, I'm
Oh,
tripping and
he
falling.
was out of his mind. I love it. Doug Drabeck had one that I know of. Those are the three off the top of my head.
All right. So Ron on the board says three.
I'm gonna go with going all the way back. I'm gonna go with five.
Five. Ooh,
Yeah,
interesting. Five
yeah.
no hitters.
I'm gonna go with five no hitters.
Okay. Mike's going on the limb a little bit here. Mike says five no hitters by the Pirates in their franchise. Ron says three no hitters. The question of the day is this, guys: how many no hitters have the Pirates thrown in their franchise's history? Ron says three. Mike says five. The answer, guys, of course, is six.
Oh,
The Pittsburgh Pirates have thrown
damn.
six no hitters in their franchise history. However, that's not anywhere even close to being the leader. Go and look what the LA Dodgers do. Me a favor, real quick, Mike, as I'm kind of completing this. Pull up real quick who has the most no hitters in history. It's the Dodgers. I just want to get this number straight. I don't want to be wrong, but I think it's like 26 no hitters.
Um,
Which, if that's the case, that's unbelievable, right? 26 no hitters.
Hold on, I'm bringing it up. Yeah, because there was a
Oh, what are you
different
doing?
26, 26.
26.
Yeah,
And look what the second place team has:
20.
20. So if anybody thinks that it's crazy, the Pirates had six no hitters in their franchise. The Dodgers have 26 no hitters. Unbelievable. When did this all happen?
That's insane. Let's see. The Brooklyn Athletics, the Brooklyn Grays, Brooklyn Bridge Groomers, Brooklyn Grooms,
The Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Bridge Groomers.
Super Boss, Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers, Brooklyn Robins, and the Brooklyn Dodgers, and then the LA Dodgers. 26. That's insane.
Man.
So, okay, here's a cool one. So, Padres, Rays, Rockies, Blue Jays all have one. The Mets have two, Brewers two, Diamondbacks have three. The defunct Philadelphia Athletics and the Louisville Eclipse have four. All right.
That's a lot of no hitters. I mean, if you think about it, how rare is it that you see a no hitter? You don't see one every, you know, I don't think you
That
see one every year, right?
No, I don't think so.
So there you have it, guys. The Pittsburgh Pirates did have six no hitters in their franchise history. I think that's pretty awesome.
That is cool. It's six,
But we
man.
almost had number seven. Yeah, Derek Shelton
Yeah.
pulls the plug. Derek Shelton pulls the rug out from underneath the Skenes, prevents number seven. So who really broke up the no hitter? Was it that first hitter in the eighth inning, or was it Derek Shelton?
It was I'm gonna go with Derek Shelton broke it up for him making the move.
Mm. Mike, anything before we start getting ready to wrap it up, man?
I got nothing for the rest of the show. So everyone have a good weekend. Have a great weekend. Oh my God, I have guests here.
I
I
do
got
want to
floating
say,
heads.
how many does Atlanta have, Mike? Look that up real quick. Paul, Ron's asking
Ah,
on the board. While you're doing that, I do want to get started on one last thing that I do want to talk about. I've been giving hints and dropping hints over the past couple days on. Go ahead. Did you find it?
oh yeah, they have 14.
The Atlanta Braves have 14 no hitters. They must have threw a lot of. There must have been a lot of no hitters back in the day because this is a lot of accumulated no hitters that I certainly haven't seen in my life. I've seen a handful, but that those are just the numbers are astronomical. Mike, the one thing I do want to say is this: the hot dog eating contest. It's coming to fruition. Next week is National Hot Dog Day. The following week is National Chili Dog Day. National Chili Dog Day. So I'm looking at 2 weeks. We are putting together a hot dog eating contest for here on the show in the Two Dumb Yingers. I don't know to what extent how we're going to do it just yet. It is in the works, but that is something, Mike, that I think is going to be a lot of fun. I do have some guests lined up in my mind that I'm going to work on this weekend, and if I could pull them, this is going to be epic. I just want to throw that out, Mike, that this hot dog contest is going to be epic, and
Epic.
you're not going to want to miss this. Um, Anything else, Mike? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Oh yeah, we're on that 90s pitching staff Atlanta. My God, Smoltz, Glavin, Maddox. Whew, look out.
I do want to say thank you everybody for hanging out and coming and hanging out and checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. We certainly wouldn't do it without you. I want to thank everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting. Always appreciative. You know that. Uh, I do believe that's everything, guys. We do have for the weekend. The Fever, they're at it tonight, 7:30. Watch that. The Pirates, they do play the Chicago White Sox. I think we have a good chance of sweeping this team. Mike, they are a negative 165 runs on the season, the worst record in the league. We win these 3 games. We go into the break with a 4-game winning streak. Get a break, come back, see who we are. I don't know. Can they do it? Can they sweep anybody? I don't know. Also, that game is tonight at 8:10 in Chicago. Over the weekend, you have the Riverhounds. They do play Oakland Roots. That is tomorrow. Also, get yourself up to Pine Richland High School tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. to cheer on the Pittsburgh Passion as they try to make their way to the championship game up in Canton in 2 weeks against their hated
Hate it.
rival, the Boston Renegades. That's tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Get up there, support them. Again, a lot of stuff on TV over the weekend. And a lot of these games will be on TV. They'll be played in retro. But again, today is the Fever, the Pirates. Tomorrow, the Hounds, the Passion. Check it out because when we come back first thing Monday morning, I'm sure we'll be talking all about it and probably about a lot more. So I will hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope
Yes.
everybody stays safe. And if you come back and if we are alive and we make it back Monday morning, we will do it all over again. For Mike at the Steeler Central Mobile Studio, for myself, the Two Dom Yinzers, everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you then. Bye bye.